Hello, my name is Pastor Keith Capisi with Club Zion Community Church. We are going to start today a 6-series teaching on how to play guitar. I'm going to do the shortcut guitar player. You're going to learn guitar, and if you're diligent, if you practice, if you pay attention, if you do all the things I tell you to do, you should be playing the guitar in a month and a half. Playing guitar, playing songs in a month and a half. So I'm going to give you the quickest way. I've taught, I've lost count of how many students I've had over the years teaching them how to play guitar. I've had students as young as 5. I've had students as old as 60 years old or better. So it has nothing to do with age. It's a method that if you pay attention, if you practice, you will learn to play guitar. So I hope you're encouraged. So we're going to get started. I don't want to waste a lot of time. So what I've done is I've put a picture of the guitar on the board. Now today we're going to do a little classroom work on the board type of thing, and then we'll get into the studio tomorrow and start looking at some of the other methods and guitars and the things about guitars and all that other good stuff, all the hardware and all that. We'll get to that. So today, I want to look at the fretboard. Okay, your fretboard is key to where I want to take you. Everybody loves to learn your basic chords, a G, a C, an F, and all that. But I'm going to teach you in these 6 segments, I'm going to teach you how to play all the chords all over the guitar. And I'm going to show you how simple it is and how easy it is. It always looks more complicated than it is, but it's not. I'm going to show you something really cool. So first of all, looking at guitar, this right here, the top of your guitar, this is the nut. Right here is your nut. And this is where the head stock is with the machine heads, okay? So, these are machine heads. This is your headstock. This is your fretboard. The fretboard is attached to the neck. The neck is attached to the body. And the body has on it, it either has a sound hole or it has pickups, depending on if you got electric or if you have an acoustic. And we'll get to that too. Now, like I said, we have the headstock, machine heads, the nut. Down here, you have a bridge and you have a saddle. Now the strings on your guitar, they go from your bridge or your saddle to the headstock. And you have 6 strings on your guitar. The 6 strings on your guitar is E, A, D, G, B, E. So those are your strings. Let me just do it bigger here for the camera. On your guitar, you have E, A, D, G, B, and E. Those are the 6 strings on your guitar. When you pluck that string without touching any of the strings, and don't touch the fretboard, but if you just pluck the string, you'll be playing an E note. The next string is an A, D, G, B, E. Now, if you really want to be able to move quickly in learning guitar, you should memorize E, A, D, G, B, and E. You should memorize that. Now, this area in here is where you press your strings down. these little lines here are frets. You don't press your string where the fret is, you press your string between the frets, is where you place your finger. You press down between the frets, all right? When you press down on a string between a fret, you're going to be playing a note. What notes will you be playing? Well, I'm going to show you. On the E string, your first fret on the E string is going to be F. Your second fret on your E string is going to be F sharp. The next fret, your third fret, a lot of guitars will have a ledger mark on your third fret. There's a dot. That's your ledger mark, telling you for quick reference that that is the third fret. Now your third fret is a G. Fourth fret is a G sharp slash A flat. Now don't get confused, we'll get there. Fifth fret on the E note, on the E string is going to be A, and the sixth fret will be an A sharp or a B flat. Your next fret is a B. Your next fret is a C. Your next fret is a C sharp. And your next fret after the C sharp is a D. Your next fret after the D is a D sharp. The next one is back to E. Now the D sharp can be an E flat. Okay? Now, your F sharp can also be a G flat. Okay? When you see a little B on top of a note, that's a flat. When you see a pound sign, that's a sharp. Now, these particular notes here are the same note. It just depends on who the composer is that's writing the song. If he's writing a song using A flats, then he'll probably use a B flat. But if he's using a song with A sharp, he'll use G sharp. It's the same note. It's just musicians sometimes get creative, and I'll leave it at that. But it's the same exact note. Now, after the E, on this fret here, the E, comes F, F sharp, or G flat. Then we have G. Then we have G sharp. Then we have A. So if you notice, we have F, and just to keep things simple, I'm going to go with the top note. We have F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, and then we start over again. F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, and on it goes. So basically, all you need to learn on this fretboard to keep it simple is, watch. I'm going to erase this, and let's see here, make it real simple here. And you can pause the video and go back and copy that. But I want to just write something really simple. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Okay? This pattern is really, it's the scale. That's it. That's A, B, well, usually it's scale, the center C on a piano. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. It just continues and continues, and so it continues. Now, we have in here, in between the F and the G, we have the F sharp. So in between the A and the G, we have A flat. And in between the B and the A, we have B flat. And then we have C sharp. And then we have D sharp. Okay? That's all the notes on your guitar. So if that's all the notes on my guitar and I start in E, right? And I move forward E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. If I move down the neck on the first string. Now my second string is an A. Second string, right there, is an A. So my first fret on the guitar, there's my A string. I go to the A, so what is my first fret? Exactly, it's a B flat. My second fret is a B. My third fret is a C sharp, then C, then D sharp, then D, then E. So there's my second string. So here's my third string, it's a D. My third string is a D. There's my D. So if that's a D, that string is a D, then my first fret, I go to my chart, D. So what is my first note? My first fret on this D string? It's an E. So then what's my second fret? An F. And then my third one is an F sharp. Wait a second. You can't pause this, can you? Okay. I'm going ahead of myself here. So we have D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, then we have E, E sharp, or B flat, B, and we have the same pattern. It just keeps repeating itself. Next string, G. So we start on the G. So there's my G. My next note is an A flat. My next note is an A. Next note, B flat. Next note, B. And on it goes down. And same with the B string, and same with the E string. So once you know what your open strings are, then all you need to do is, and I want to erase this again and just make this really, really simple for you. Open strings. E, F, F, sharp, G, G, sharp, A, let's just say B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. There we have your pattern that just keeps repeating itself and repeating itself and repeating itself all down this neck. Now, let's just look at, we have the E, open E, 1, 2, 3 on the E string. That's a G. Now, on the D string, we have D, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G. Okay? On the third string, a G. We find another G there. So here's a G on the E string, here's a G on the D string. There's a pattern. Here's my 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. These two notes are the same, as is these two notes, F sharp, F sharp. Also, I could have a B. Well, there's a B. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's a B. So your first 4 strings, they repeat themselves in that if I play on the D string, if I play a D, D sharp, E, F, say I play an F here. Well, I'd have to find my F. So I go B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. So here's an E here. So there's an F, there's an E. So now I want to find my F. Here's an F. So I have now an F and an F. But the reason why the F here is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 is because this B string doesn't follow the pattern of the 4 strings. Also, on the 4 top strings, we have an A, and that string is an A. If I go down to the A string and play a D, that 3rd string, or the 4th string going up, because you count on a guitar, you count from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So first on the 6th string, 5th fret, I will have an A. Now on the open string is an E. The 2nd string, 5th fret, is also an E. No, I take that back. Let me erase that. So I go, here's my E string. I play the 5th fret E string is an A. Well, the next string is an A. I play the 5th fret on the A string, and I play a D, which is the next string, a D. I play the 5th fret on the D string, and I'm going to play a G, which is the next string. So your 4 strings up here, they run in patterns. And next week I'm gonna have a guitar in my hand. I'm gonna be able to show you with the guitar how this pattern moves. But the thing I want you to do is I want you to memorize this pattern, because this pattern repeats itself over and over, all the way down this neck. On every single string, this pattern keeps repeating itself, keeps repeating itself, keeps repeating itself. So just to move ahead, and we're not ready to move ahead yet, but just to give you an idea of why it's important to memorize this pattern, is because when I play a bar chord, let's say I play an E position with a bar chord. That E position, here's an E, my E string. That E position on a bar chord, I'm allowed to play the chord F. With that same bar chord, I can play an F sharp. And with that same pattern on a bar chord, I can play a G. I can play a G sharp. I can play an A, and a B flat, a B. I can play a C sharp, D. And so I don't have to change my bar chord pattern. All I have to do is know in my head that this is the movement of my neck. And I can pretty much play every single chord, every major chord on the guitar, because I know where the pattern is. Now this pattern, it also applies, I can, and we'll get to this, it's a little premature, but I just want to run through some really just kindergarten preliminary things that can help you just to move forward. And I just keep going over the fact that you need to memorize this pattern. Now, with that bar chord, let's say I play an E position. Here's my E position. So I play this E position, and I have an E, but I move that up and I can play every one of these notes. Now the thing is, if I play an E minor and then use my finger, the bar chord, I'll show you this later. I'm giving you a lot of stuff right now, but I need to jam this all in today, and then we'll move forward with the guitar, and you'll see it clearer on the guitar, and I can actually show you. But you take an E minor, and now I can play an F minor, F sharp minor, a G minor, a G sharp minor, an A minor, B flat minor, B minor, C sharp minor, D, just by playing that E minor, barring it, and moving up the neck, knowing this pattern, I can play every major chord, and I can play every minor chord. I can also do that if I play the A minor position. And I play an A minor position, then I use a bar chord, then I can play A minor, B flat minor, B minor, C sharp minor, by just bar chording up the neck as well. So knowing my pattern, I am able to play every major chord and every minor chord on the guitar by just knowing what this pattern is, being familiar with the neck on my guitar, and learning 2 chords, and 4 chords really, learning an E chord, learning an E minor chord, and what helps is to learn an A chord and an A minor chord. With those 4 chords, I could take my bar. Your bar is your finger that covers all the strings except for the chord you're playing. We'll go over all that. Don't worry, I don't know that chord, don't worry about it, we'll get there. So, the reason why I went all the way through this and kept going through this and kept going through this is basically just because I need you to learn this pattern. Learning this pattern is the key to the method I'm going to show you to learning all the guitars on the guitar, all the chords on the guitar, which is going to enable you to basically play so many countless songs. Just, there's not a song you'd be able to pull up unless you get into some ninths and sustains and all that stuff, and really you get into sevenths and all that, and by the time you get into that stuff, you've already moved on and you're looking up chords on the internet and you're finding what those chords are. What I'm giving you is a shortcut to learning to play guitar, where most songs are in major minor chords. And so you're going to be able to play basically thousands of songs by just knowing this pattern. And I'm not exaggerating, thousands of songs. So I encourage you for this section until next week when we pull up the next video, work on this pattern. Get to know this pattern. Know that guitar. Just all you have to start with is E, first string, A, second string, D, third string, G, B, and back to E. That's your first 6 strings. That's your 6 strings. Learning those 6 strings, now I encourage you to do the layout of each string using this pattern. Now, I wrote this pattern in this direction because most people look at scales in this direction. But all I have to do is put the strings over here and go E, A, D, G, B, and E. So now you can run your patterns this way. And your patterns this way would be A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, right? B flat, B, B, C, C, C sharp, C, D, D. Again, with the D, we have D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, and then you have your G. So you have G, you have G sharp, A, you have A flat, B, B, no, G sharp, A, B flat, C, C sharp, and then the B, you have B, you have C, C sharp, and on it goes. So all you're gonna do is take your 6 strings, there's your 6 strings, and write out the pattern to each string. So draw yourself a picture of a guitar with your nut, and your nut is your open strings. And there's your open strings, E, A, D, G, B, E. Then what you do is, if you're gonna take a notebook and write a big guitar across one page, then fill in the notes using this pattern. There's your 6 notes, fill in the pattern. When you fill up that page, turn the page, draw another guitar, fill up this pattern. You get done with that, turn the page, draw another guitar, fill out the pattern. Now there's another thing that's going to be helpful to learning this pattern. And it just repeats itself over and again. It doesn't stop repeating itself. No other notes appear, nothing, it's just the same pattern. The other thing about this is, once you are familiar with the neck of your guitar and this pattern that keeps repeating itself on your guitar, you're going to be able to play bass guitar like a piece of cake. Because a bass player just plays the notes. He doesn't play, or she doesn't play the chords. She just plays the notes. And knowing your neck and knowing where your patterns lay out on your neck enables you to play bass for any song. You could be a bass player within 2 months. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. I played guitar, started playing guitar when I was just a little kid, 12 years old, and stuck with it, loved the guitar, played the guitar, had a great time. We were in a band, we're having a great time. We're just young teenagers playing in a band, and we're just really feeling great, man. We're gonna be rock stars, we're gonna be famous, and every young person that plays music thinks that. But we couldn't find a bass player. And I was able to pick up the bass and play bass for the band because I just knew the pattern. I never played bass before, never even knew anything about playing bass. But I knew that on the bass, it's the first 4 strings. And I knew that the first 4 strings were the basic pattern of the guitar. So it was so easy for me to play bass guitar because I knew the pattern. Now, knowing this pattern is going to help you play countless chords. It's going to help you to play bass guitar. And it is going to help you to play even concert ukulele. Because a concert ukulele is strung the same way the four strings are up here. These 4 strings, that's a concert ukulele, same chords, same pattern. So there's a lot of things you can do once you learn this. Now, today, this is just the layout. We just covered the guitar layout, covered the pattern, gave you some exercises you can work on. Next week, we pull out the instrument, we pull out the guitar, we talk about the guitar, we talk about the parts on the guitar, and I start introducing you to some of the features that the guitar has, some of the equipment, your capo, different picks, the type of picks you can use. We'll cover all of that. And then we'll start working through chords. Each week, I'm going to have 4 chords that we're going to work on each week, open chords. Also, we're going to continue to work with this pattern, working on bar chords. Now, open chords are more difficult. They're different finger arrangements, and you got to really work at those. The bar chords are a lot easier, but I want to show you both because there's an advantage to both. Also, when you get to the double dots here, this right here, this is like having the nut moved up to here. You take this nut and you move the nut here. That's where the double dots are. So basically, when you start learning open chords right here on the guitar, you can play those open chords way up here on the guitar. A lot of guitars will have the shape like this, and then you'll see a shape on the bottom like that. That's a cutaway. The reason why there's a cutaway is because some people play chords up here, open chords up here, and it sounds really cool, like a mandolin. So we're going to learn those things. This is just a quick go through, whet your appetite, give you some things to work on. And again, none of this is going to help you if you're not willing to do the work. You've got to say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to get that guitar down. Because I can promise you, in 6 weeks, you're going to be playing guitar. In 6 weeks. And I'm going to launch you on your way to play any song you want. And the thing about the guitar is you can take it anywhere you want. And it's such a joy and a comfort. You know, there's times when you just want to play music. So I encourage you, go for it. Learn the guitar. Take these exercises, put them to work, and we'll see you next week. God bless you.